Hello everyone, my name is Lukas Kühle, and within the Institute of Ecology of the Technical University of Berlin and within the project Vertical Green 2.0, we developed an analysis of obstacles for an integrative implementation of facade greening in German cities. For this purpose, we set up 2 stakeholder workshops in Berlin, in Germany, and made an evaluation of those, and afterwards we set up a constellation analysis on the given issue. Just to give you a short overview on contributions of facade greening on building requirements and requirements of the environment. An overview in accordance with FOSA 2018. And as you see here, or what is possible and already shown in literature, in specific cases is that you have benefits on building requirements such as ventilation, energy demand, water management, life cycle assessment, and building material, as well as light, especially by blindings, for example, and temperature regulation, as shown in literature. Also, you are able to have, in specific cases, benefits to the water management of the environment of buildings. You have prevention of overheating and heat stress. You have reduction of air pollution. You have benefits to acceptance and health, and you have a reduction of noise pollutions provided by facade greening, as well as an increase of biodiversity. Here I show you a short overview on the state-of-the-art of facade greening. On the left you see the worldwide peer-reviewed articles on roof and facade greening throughout the last 3 decades, and I show you also roof greening as it's another green infrastructure and comparable with the development of facade greening in the last years. The peer-reviewed articles show that there's way less facade greening considerations in science, way more roof greening papers which have been published throughout the last years. Also on the right, when we take a close look on surveys of German cities about different considerations of roof and facade greening support within the last 10 years. And as you see there, also roof greening has been considered way more often than facade greening in development plans, direct subsidy programs, and directives of German cities within the last years. Here I show you quickly a study by Schlesser from 2003. She investigated the acceptance of facade greening within citizens of the city of Cologne in Germany. She had, she developed 4 different aspects of acceptance, which are ecological aspects, site physical, financial, economical, and optical, social aspects, which are influencing the acceptance of facade greening. And she developed, or she found out that people without facade greening experiences, in blue, have way more concerns which are affecting this acceptance than people who actually have experiences with it. And what is interesting here is especially obstacles to facade greening, which are here, for example, annoyance by insects and spiders, and also the individual character which are affecting the acceptance of facade greening. Also causing facade damages are mentioned here, and but also positive aspects such as the protection of frost, heat, and rain, etc. I'm not going into detail on the other points here because of the time. The research approach of this study had three different research questions, which was first, which aspects currently prevent a wider distribution of facade greening, which actors affect the implementation of facade greening and act inhibiting, and how do those obstacles relate to each other. We started the project with the basic literature research. After that, we set up the first workshop in September 2018. After that, in the project team, we made a first draft of Constellation Analysis, and this draft we discussed during the second workshop in February 2019. After a workshop evaluation and an intensive literature research, we started to add the Constellation Analysis, and we made 6 different verifying expert interviews where we verified the results, but also where we added, rearranged, revised, and all the relations and all elements. After that, there was another workshop, Urban Vertical Green 2.0, where we discussed the results, and after that we were able to present the Constellation Analysis, the final one. So the method of future workshop, Zukunftswerkstatt in German, according to Dauscher, consists of 3 different phases. It's a criticism phase at first, collecting all obstacles or problems on the case. Second phase of utopia, where you develop unrealistic wishes, and the third phase, realization, where you put all that into practice. The future workshop was made in 2018. And here you see the collection of obstacles during the criticism phase of the workshop. So mainly named were highly installation and maintenance costs, missing know-how and transfer of knowledge. Also management and cost were mentioned. Different obstacles here, missing long-term experiences, undesirable shattering, fear of building damages, facade damages also, missing funding programs, and determination of ownership and responsibility. So I'm not going into detail of the others, but very different obstacles were named here. During the workshop, we categorized such obstacles into 4 categories as fear, investments, lack of knowledge, and legal and market barriers. This fear, for example, consists of different kind of fears such as fire protection, roots, insects, building destructions, etc. But also we have investments which cost benefits are not predictable. For example, the systems appear expensive and effects are not monetizable, return invest not quantifiable, etc. Then we have legal and market barriers, which is insurance issues, construction law, product liability, low amount of providers, and missing competition on the market. Also, lack of knowledge, which includes the selection of plants, wrong missing irrigation system, missing maintenance or wrong maintenance, and generally the architectural know-how is missing. Then there was a second workshop, Constellation Analysis, in February 2019. Before we created a small discussion draft for the workshop, which we discussed then. And after that, we verified the results in expert interviews and another workshop where we discussed the results in September 2020. So this brings us to the Constellation Analysis, which I explained shortly. We have 3 actor cures, which are public authorities, planners, and developers. Then we have social actors in yellow, which are the owners, contractors, sciences, urban planning, legislation, local government, which are the departments for civil engineering and the environment. And we have landscape architecture, structural architecture, and product providers, which is important, have to be divided into manufacturers, providers, and landscaping providers. The difference is The manufacturer only sells the product, and the landscaping provider also has the knowledge about the plants and all of that. Then you have the inhabitants or the residents, and you have associations on building greening. Then you have different symbolic elements in black as concepts, norms, institutional factors. In blue, you have technical elements, strategies, measures, and you have natural elements. All of these elements are in a relation as they are missing, conflicting, oppositional, directed, or simple. Above all elements, you have lack of in understanding living organisms. You have fear of insects, moisture, fire protection, and you have different definitions of facade greening as everyone is handling the issue differently and has a different opinion about what facade greening actually is, as some people only think about, for example, ground-based facade greening. Starting with the planner's cure, you have a lower acceptance for green as a tool or a design element. You have missing knowledge and wrong choice of plants. You have planning mistakes and missing understanding of natural processes. And importantly, you have postponed expert involvement. And this is an issue as structural architectures who are getting get into the planning of a facade greening have a belated or they belated introduce experts in the planning, which leads us to maintenance clarification and communication issues, as maintenance has a missing consideration in the planning process, which leads us to the public visibility of bad examples, because expert knowledge is not integrated into the planning process. Also, the missing visibility of best practice example comes into play here, as platforms are missing here, for example. Especially structural architects also have a missing perception of green potential, as you can say. And also they have a missing relation to product providers, manufacturers providers, and landscaping providers. And also here, there's in some cases plant knowledge missing. The structural architect is in a conflicting relationship to the energy saving regulation in Germany. And also to give a guarantee of summer thermal insulation, or guarantee can't be given due to unpredictability of nature and performance under bad circumstances of facade greening. Coming to the public authorities, you have missing relations to the planner section and missing relations also to the developer section, which is problematic because obligation and restriction are not giving, and misleading funding and support programs are set or placed. Concerning the Department for Civil Engineering, for example, long approval procedures for soil pills in public area are detected also. In the urban planning sector, we have a missing remote sensing tools for facade surfaces, which brings us to insufficient treatment of building stock, as the facade surfaces which are able to be implemented for facade greening are not detected. Also, a problem is that positive external effects are not quantifiable by sciences, and also sciences have missing monitoring options, a lack of training of architects, and a missing knowledge exchange also. This is also why sciences has a missing relation to developers and to the planners section. Also, developers have higher investments to take. They fear maintenance efforts and costs. Also, they have sometimes an uncertainty about subsequent costs, and generally they have a more technical affinity and a low interest for natural systems. And all of these leads to misleading expectations of owners and building contractors. So as you see here, it's a very, on the first view, very confusing application, but all of these elements relate to each other and are somehow related. So just to show you quick the main results and an outlook, you have a lack of quantification methods, lack of cost-benefit analysis, you have a lack of maintenance and know-how, which is actually all interdependent, as you have a belated expert integration, which leads to missing know-how in the planning phase, which leads to maintenance issues. Also, you have a lack of participation and information for all of the social actors. This is the problem why there's different associations with facade greening, which would be maybe different if you have a greater informational access and if you would reach such people. Further approaches of also included in this project are to solve the question which recommendation of measures towards wider application can be applied regarding different social actors. And this is what is following in during this project actually, where we develop requirements or suggested measures. Here I provided a short overview on the references I used for this presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. Here you see all project partners, and thank you very much. If you have any concerns and if you would like to discuss any points with me, please get into contact. And thank you very much, and have a good day.